I was on a hike during a vacation I was taking last summer. One of my other plans was cancelled for that day, so the hike was a last-minute decision. The place I was at wasn't known for having that great of a nature scene or anything. It was mostly flat, with woods all around, but I was just out there because I had nothing better to do. I found it to be a little odd how along this trail I kept seeing more paths branching off from the main one. They all looked small and thin, like they had just been made by a few people trying to take a shortcut, but one of these paths caught my attention. It went straight off in a different direction than the main trail, and just from the way everything around it looked, I couldn't see any reason someone would go off that way. I tried to look around as far as I could, but the woods were pretty dense and the trees blocked my view. My curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to go down it just to see where it went. I was thinking it probably led to a pond or some other mildly cool place, but really anything was better than the trail I was on before. I walked for about 15 minutes, which was much further than I was expecting, until I got to the end. It faded out into nothing but grass and trees. I continued walking past the end, just a few steps, and that's when I saw something not too far away. A cabin sitting right in the middle of the woods. The wood had moss covering it, and the ceiling looked like it was about to cave in at any second. I went up to the front of it and saw that the door was missing, yet the trees blocked out most of the sunlight, making the inside hard to see. I took a few more steps closer until I was standing in the doorway. It was still really dark, but I could make out some debris scattered around the floor, like destroyed tables and pieces of wood. I held up my phone to provide me with some sort of light source, then walked further inside. There were 2 rooms, both mostly empty aside from the debris, but there was one door in the middle of the hallway that was half open. I looked in and saw a staircase leading down 10 or 15 steps into a basement. It was obviously really creepy and something straight out of a horror movie, but seeing as the entire cabin was empty and very clearly abandoned, I didn't see any actual danger to it. I walked down to the bottom and was immediately hit with an odor. It smelled like it was infested with rats. I held my phone up toward the opening of the room and found that it was extremely small, like a small walk-in closet made of decaying wood, but on the wall was another partially open door. My phone light barely reached the tiny opening, but I could see that it was some kind of long tunnel. I was too scared to go any closer, so I just stood at the steps and looked. From where I was, I could only see into the first few feet of the tunnel, but it was not well made and was crumbling in some parts, and everything past that was completely engulfed in darkness. The fear was slowly building in me, and it was then that I decided I'd had enough. I turned around to go back up the steps, but as my phone passed over the room, a figure's eyes lit up in the light, standing in the corner of the room under the stairs. I frantically sprinted up, tripping over the steps as my fear immediately took over me. I ran straight out of the cabin and all the way back to the main trail, not stopping until I was back in my car and driving out of the woods. I'm not sure who it was that I saw, or what they were doing there, but the image of their eyes lighting up just a couple feet from me in that dark basement still gives me nightmares.